Chris did not make a dent in their views. Their views only started going down the last few years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're saying that's because of you. You get
2K
views and their views have dropped massively. And I don't think that's anything to do with you.
Because people are watching me.
No, they're not, because you're not getting the difference in the numbers on your channel.
People stop watching them because there's situations that happen with Chris, not because of what.
That's not true. That's not true. If you look at the figures, it's not true.
So I had that debate on TikTok Live a few nights ago. It got quite heated. So I thought I would try and prove the point. We're going to go through a few figures now to see how the Ingham's channel has declined over the last few years and see who is responsible for it. If it is indeed something to do with me, or if it's not something to do with me. Either way, we're going to find out today. And first of all, we're going to go through a line graph that I created myself to show their decline in views. So first of all, we can see here that this is a line graph, Ingham vlog views. On the left hand axis, you can see the views in terms of thousands. So you can see 200,000, 400,000, 600,000, etc. And on the bottom line is the dates where the views happen. So basically what I did was I looked at all the views that they had in one specific month, added them all together and divided by the amount of videos there were, and that came out with an average amount of views that they had per video. So that's what we're looking at today, average views in each month. So I started in January 2018 and went straight through to July or June 2018. Those were Chris Ingham allegations, right? So you can see the pre-Chris Ingham allegations, and you'll see here it started, you're looking at 250, 3, and it goes up here quite high. Basically, the average views pre-Chris Ingham allegations were around about 240, 250,000 views per video. And they were doing okay for themselves. Then the allegations hit in July 2018. So I did the same thing from 2018 all the way through, from July 2018 all the way through to July 2019. So the first year of post-allegations, so we can see what they were like. And what you'll find is, yes, the views dipped a little bit, but not significantly. They went down to around about 210, 220 for the first few months after the allegations. Of course, then they went off to Australia on a month-long trip. A lot of people viewed the vlogs for hate purposes after that. In fact, the first month after Chris allegations came out, their views went up. In actual fact, they skyrocketed to 361,000 views per video. And so in actual fact, because of the allegations, their views went up significantly and they got more money out of that. That's quite sick if you think about it. And then the next few months they stabilized quite well at 250, 240. They went down latterly in October. I guess they just come back from their holiday, nobody wanted to watch them anymore, and they, you know, the views dropped off, not as many people talking about the allegations anymore, so the views came down. But then December hit that year, and as usual the views went up again. December 2018, there's 350,000 views per video, and that's quite, you know, that's a lot, but it's to be expected because it's December and Christmas time. Post Christmas, January 2019 rolled around, the views started going down a bit now, well, much lower than they were pre-allegations. They went down to 140 when the pre-allegations the year prior in January was a 250, so they dropped off by 100k per video by then. And then the views, they started going up again as the year progressed, so they didn't really lose an awful lot. You know, they went up to June 2019. We were back up to 260. The views were hovering around 220, 230 sort of region. So the views were, they'd gone down since pre-allegations, but they hadn't gone down significantly, so you can see that. And then, right, from this point on, I took each month, each July of every year, to see how their views had progressed in every single July. So the next month I looked at was July 2020, and by that point the views had gone down significantly. They dropped off by over 100k. They were down to 119,000 views per video in July 2020. By July 2021, the views actually were slightly up at 130, which means that they weren't really losing on an awful lot. But by July 2022, they had dropped off significantly. They were down to 83,000 views per video, and that was around the time I think they were doing van trips all the time, and they'd gone to Ireland, I think, that year. Maybe I'm mistaken. It could have been 21. I think it was 22. And by July 2023, they were down to 52,000 views per video, and that is a significant drop off from the previous year. By July 2024, they were down to just 38,000 views per video, and the times were definitely getting on, right? By May 2025, which is up to date now, 32,000 views per video. So as we can see, the views have gone down. They've kept going down in a downward trajectory over the past few years. And what I would say to that is that the Chris allegations pretty much did not affect them in the immediate short term, right? If anything, it actually helped them a little bit. You know, it kept them going, but it didn't really significantly drop off. A lot of people obviously stopped liking them, stopped watching them because of the allegations, rightly so, obviously, but a lot of people just carried on watching. The iFam, the kids that watched the Inghams, they didn't care about what Chris did, because a lot of them just didn't believe it. They just thought, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's lies, it's fake news, it's been photoshopped and things like that. And the kids didn't understand what had actually happened. So why has it started dropping off significantly the last few years? Probably since 2020. I think the pandemic maybe hit them a little bit hard, possibly because they started gallivanting around. You know, they kept breaking lockdown, and whatever your thoughts about the pandemic at the time, everybody had to stay indoors, and the Inghams didn't tend to agree with this perspective and tended just to go off and do their own thing, and then they went around Europe when they weren't really supposed to, and things like that. Probably didn't help their views. Since then, though, they've just spent so much time on the van trips, and people generally don't like van trips. They think that they are, yeah, well, they're boring. Let's be honest with you, they're boring, and their views have reflected that. Also, affecting their views are things along the lines of Sarah Ingham ranting all the time, their general overall negativity towards everybody. They hate on people, right? They respond to their haters, but they also project that onto their actual fans. So the actual fans think that the Inghams are hating on them, and it's turning their fans away. Aside from that, I do believe that I've made a difference, a significant difference in what I do. I don't just do this for hate purposes, but I think I've made a significant difference in the amount of views that they have lost. And I'm just going to show you one or two comments here to show you that actual people used to follow the Inghams but were turned away specifically for things that they watched on my channel. So this first person says XIFAM here, and the next one says, yep, I used to watch them and now I give you my view. Instead of them getting it, I dislike them because of you. So that is a one up for me, I guess. They have changed so much, they don't give poo about their IFAM, it's all about the money now. I have changed my opinion on them after watching your videos. I wasn't a fan of them, but I used to watch them, but was watching them and then watching your channel, I realised that all they do is put their kids in danger, either online or by leaving them on beaches while on holiday. This one said, I've never watched them specifically, but watched other family YouTubers. Always felt it wasn't the right thing using the kids. Then I stumbled across your channel, which confirmed I should not be supporting those families either. Right, and I'd like to finish on one particular comment which I received, which isn't really anything to do with this, but it does prove and show what Chris did back in 2018, 2017 was so wrong, and the reasons why. I am ex-IFAM. I stopped watching them because you could clearly see the lies coming out of their mouth and Sarah constantly running the haters down, but really doing it in a way that made everyone who followed them feel like they were having a go at them. I saw the older two turning out to be just nasty like them, and the final straw was when I found out what Chris had done. That was intolerable. Some girls, even at 16, are young in age. I was odd at 15, and my life was never the same after that. Even at the age I am now, I haven't forgotten it. I can literally feel the fear that young Jess was feeling inside that hotel room on her own, not knowing whether he would turn up at her door. Poor kid. So the point here is that Jess would have been feeling fear. This person is expressing how Jess must have been feeling, not knowing if Chris was going to turn up, you know, and being fearful in that hotel room that day. And that, if you have any doubt about what Chris did was bad, oh, it's just some messages, that's what some people say, but it's not though. It's the fear that those messages has caused people. So yes, I just wanted to point that one out because I thought it was important to you know, for those that aren't aware. Anyway, the overriding facts here is that I feel not that everything is about me, because it's not, right? I feel that I have made some difference, significant difference, I reckon, right? A lot of people in the comments over the years have said that they are ex-iFam, they used to watch them, now they watch me, or they stopped watching because of me, or they just stopped watching and now they watch me, right? I'm not the cause and the reason for everything, but when people say I haven't made any difference, I actually think that is not true. But the main thing overall is the fact that the Ingham's views are tanking so badly, and I almost feel sorry for them because their views were so good pre-allegations and around that time that it must upset Chris so much, and that alone is justice enough. It's nearly justice, isn't it? I mean, getting 30,000 views a video compared to 250,000 views, it's gotta hurt, isn't it, Chris? Sorry about that. Anyway, if you have appreciated this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.